In 1961, business partners Don Six, Martin Levine, and Jim Kirst founded the Red Barn restaurant chain in Springfield, Ohio. Just 2 years later, in 1963, the small chain was purchased by Richard Kearns. Operating as Red Barn Systems, the offices were moved briefly to Dayton, Ohio, and then finally to Fort Lauderdale, Florida in 1964. In the late 60s, they were purchased by United Servomation. In 1978, Servomation merged with the City Investing Company, which also operated the Motel 6 chain. With fierce competition in the retail burger space, the owners elected to pull out of fast food altogether and stop promoting the Red Barn restaurants. Franchise owners were allowed to dissolve their agreements, and by the late 1980s, the leases had all expired. During the 1960s and 1970s, fast food restaurant chains were exploding across the country, taking advantage of American car culture and popping up along every major highway and byway. Some chains only managed to grow to a handful of restaurants, while others never quite made it beyond certain regions of the country. At its peak, the group operated around 400 restaurants across the US, with other locations in Canada and Australia. All the restaurants were housed in unique barn-shaped structures with a mansard roof. This folksy architecture would have been appealing to patrons in the Midwest, but would have been a curious and uniquely appealing roadside attraction in areas of the country not heavily populated by farmland. These architectural remnants are the last vestiges of a once beloved fast food chain. Not having lived through the decade, I can picture the 1970s as having smelled like vehicle exhaust, cigarettes, and burger grease. Soundtrack by Boston. Competing against the likes of McDonald's, Burger Chef, Burger King, and even Roy Rogers, the Red Barn featured three main characters in its advertising: Hamburger Hungry, Chicken Hungry, and Big Fish Hungry.
Hey, Hamburger Hungry, is that Red Barn's new giant hamburger?
Yup, the Barn Buster, made from a full quarter pound of pure ground beef.
Wow!
And boy, do people like them. Listen.
This is the first big burger that really tastes great.
Even the bun tastes better.
That's Red Barn's special bun.
I've had big burgers before, but never with flavor like this.
The Barn Buster. For ladies and little folks, we'll cut it in half.
The Red Barn could best be described as a fast food diner with an improbably diverse menu. Menu items included your typical burgers, but also expanded out to fish and fried chicken.
When you're looking for a place that offers more, the one that'll please the whole crowd. Red Barn, with the best burgers, chicken and fish, and fresh salad as much as you wish. We've got cheese busters, barn busters, big Barneys too. Chicken that's tender and fresh for you.
It was the first restaurant chain to have an all-you-can-eat salad bar. They offered a full breakfast menu, which was uncommon for the time. There were two burgers on the menu that were in direct competition with other fast food chains. The Barn Buster burger was reminiscent of the Whopper from BK and the Super Chef from Burger Chef. The burger that I'm most intrigued by was known as the Big Barney, two hamburger patties with cheese and special sauce. Other notable examples include McDonald's Big Mac, Burger Chef's Big Chef, and the Mighty Mo from Hot Shops, which was a similar restaurant chain to the Red Barn in spirit. I made the Mighty Mo on this channel. Stick around because I'm remaking the Big Barney today here on the channel. Having lived in the Washington, D.C. area since 1987, I remember one building in the city of Fairfax that always piqued my interest. It stood for years along a heavily populated stretch of road, having served the longest time as a pizzeria. And then one day the pizza joint closed and it stood empty for several years after, before eventually being torn down and replaced. I asked an older friend of mine who, like me, has a passion for retail archaeology, and he told me about the Red Barn, having eaten there many times in his youth. Once I learned a little about the history of the chain, I noticed a few more of these buildings in Northern Virginia. This old advertisement floating around on the internet is from the Arlington County Public Library and shows all the locations that once existed in Northern Virginia and across the border into Maryland. The Hyattsville, Maryland location in the advertisement is now a laundromat. The Marlboro Pike building in Maryland is still there and has been converted into a convenience store. Also in Maryland is the Marlow Heights location and is now a chicken and waffles joint. I was also interested in the A-Frame building next door, and a quick search informs me it was a Heap Big Beef in the 1960s. A short-lived franchise founded by the folks that also franchised Bonanza that I'd like to revisit in a future video. In Virginia, there was a Red Barn located on Annandale Road in Falls Church. Long gone. The aforementioned Fairfax location, and there was also one on Route 1 in Alexandria. This Al Fresco is a very small local chain serving delicious and fresh Mexican food. The prices are right out of the Red Barn era. Inside it has been completely remodeled, but still retains the charm of the original building design. Not quite a salad bar, but they do have a salsa bar. The food here is absolutely amazing. And I got all this for only $7. I snapped this photo of the hallway leading to the restrooms because it appears this section still has the original 1970s tile flooring. Doing research on the restaurant chain, I discovered and joined an active Facebook group dedicated to the Red Barn. Reading through all the posts and viewing user-submitted photos, I came across a handful of recipes that were posted on the page. There was one for Big Barney with complete assembly ingredients from a cook. I will note that in the comments section was a number of different former employees hotly debating the ingredients and assembly. I've researched enough of these chains to know that this is not uncommon. What made some of these regional burger joints falter in a hotly competitive market were their inconsistency. Company chairmen like Ray Kroc were dictatorial in maintaining the taste and construction across all McDonald's franchise locations, building food factories dedicated to producing all the food served in each restaurant. Other companies like the Red Barn would have varied from one franchise to the next. Franchise operators left to order ingredients from their own local suppliers. The special sauce is just one example. There is a step-by-step ingredient list on the Facebook page purportedly used to make the Big Barney special sauce. Other folks in the comments said that their restaurants just use Kraft tartar sauce that was spooned out of huge jars. Let's go shopping for our ingredients. We need a packet of shredded lettuce, minced onion, this works, a packet of hamburger buns, and I really like these, American cheese slices. This grocery store didn't have any 80-20 ground beef, but they do have a solid salad bar. The Red Barn used to proudly advertise their salad bar, so that's what I'm going with tonight. I ran to the Trader Joe's next door and they had this really well-crafted ground beef for less than $5 a pound. Back in the kitchen, we're making two 6-ounce hamburger patties. The ground beef made exactly 4 patties, so I had enough for a test batch on the side. I made a salt, pepper, onion blend to season the patties with once they hit the grill. They cook fast, so you have to keep an eye on them, flipping only once after about 90 seconds to 2.5 minutes on the first side. Once I pull the meat from the grill, I head back inside to toast the buns, setting aside one top and 2 bottoms. One of the bottoms will rest between 2 meat patties. Most of the advertising photos depict a plain bun, so that's what I purchased. Again, the construction of the Big Barney varied widely from print advertising to television. Even the former employees can't agree, so I'm just following the instructions as written on the Facebook page. I had sliced pickles at home. The instructions tell me to add only 1, although I have seen 2 on at least one featured in the commercials. I really like the charring I got on this burger patty. And then I add the middle bun slice. To that I add a slice of American cheese. And finally, my last patty and bun topper.
A day like this gets me hungry for a burger with lots of meat. So I head on down to the Red Barn for a burger that can't be beat. I take my Coke and burger and sit down for a while. I like to eat at Red Barn because good food makes me smile. You know, you get a whole lot more of what you're hungering for at the Red Barn.
Okay, you know how we like to do on this channel. We have to taste it, right? Now I'm going right off of the recipe. I followed the recipe almost to a T from what I got on the Facebook page. So I hope this lives up to it. I decided to go with a salad because I can destroy a salad bar. And, you know, I actually went to a real salad bar. A lot of them were modeled after these types of restaurants. I mean, what are you gonna say? It's a salad. All right, let's get this out of the way and try the burger. Okay, you can see it is a big boy. Now, this would have been in packaging, probably a paper wrapper. The best thing about fresh made burgers in a paper wrapper is it kind of steams that bun again and it'll actually compress it a little bit. So it is a little bit more poofy than what you would probably got in the actual restaurant, but I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. Tartar sauce was a little of a weird, kind of a weird thing for me. So I like tartar sauce, but I've never had it with a burger. So let's try this out. I don't know if this would have been my go-to option because there is one thing on the menu and in the commercials which people seem to rave about, and that was their fried chicken. And if you know me, fried chicken is actually my weakness, so I probably would have gravitated toward that. I think I still prefer a Big Mac, and that's probably why it lasted the longest. Please feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know, did I hit it? And have you tried making this? And I would love to see, if you've tried making it, how similar it actually was to a restaurant. Another thing I will say is that back in the 70s, while these chains were expanding, individual franchise owners tended to have recipes. What would happen is it would be made a little bit differently in each region, in each state, in each city, based on who was the franchise owner and what relationships they had with local suppliers. This is long before even McDonald's centralized everything and it was coming from one food source, primarily for McDonald's. That's why McDonald's tastes the same as it does in France, as it does in Amsterdam, as it does in England, as it does in areas in Latin America, because McDonald's has centralized. I see a lot of arguments online between different people that have worked in the restaurants arguing about how they made specific recipes. It probably depended on the franchise owner that you were working for. But anyway, enough of that. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button for more discontinued foods. There's a playlist right here you can check out right now. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.